Hey everybody, it's Cool Trainer Rob, and in this video, we're going to discuss 10 Pokemon cards that I consider to be weird or unusual. Now, obviously, what's weird or unusual is objective, but I've compiled a list of cards that I think most of you will agree with me on being, well, pretty weird. These aren't necessarily in any particular order, as it's honestly pretty hard to rank things just based on weirdness. I also think a lot of these cards are on the same level in terms of their outlandish appearance and how weird they actually are. However, the card in the number one spot is there due to it being one of my favorite cards of all time, so I figured I'd give it an honorable position on the list due to it being so near and dear to my heart. So, the first card on our list is a trainer card that was originally released as an unnumbered promotional card. Unnumbered promotional cards are promo cards in Japan that don't feature a number signifying which collection they belong to. They predate the promo symbol marked cards, though it's important to know that some unnumbered promos did begin featuring that logo later on. The name of this card is Trade Please, and it was made available through the Trade Please campaign that took place from February 10th to July 31st of 1998. The quick and dirty of the campaign was that participants could mail a document that came with an album by Suzuki-san, a Pokemon rap group, to a company called Media Factory. You had to include any 2 Pokemon trading cards in a return envelope, but you also needed to specify a course on the mail-in document. What that course decided was what cards you would receive back in the trade. There were 3 courses available. Course A was a Charizard, B was a Blastoise, and C, a Venusaur. But each of the 3 courses also came with this Trade Please promo. The Trade Please promo featured artwork drawn by the infamous Imakuni, and was also one of 2 cards in the history of the franchise to feature a holographic backing. The other card was Ancient Mew. This card was reprinted years later for the Trade Please 20th anniversary event, but that version did not have a holographic backing. Next, we have Hamachans Slowking. This was another one of those unnumbered promo cards that we were talking about. The card was distributed via a Japanese magazine called Koro Koro in August of 1999. You might be familiar with Koro Koro, as they've released a ton of great promo cards in Japan over the years, many of which are unusual, but Hamachan Slowking is a little more unusual than some of the others. It features artwork by Masatoshi Hamada, the Japanese voice actor for Slowking in The Power of One. This card is one of many spoof cards that have been released over the years in Japan, and it features a move called Corkscrew Punch. However, you can only use said move if you mumble, should I, 3 times. This list would not be complete without at least a few Imakuni-themed cards, and we've got one for you here. This card is simply called Imakuni, and was also distributed via Koro Koro in September of 1997. This card holds some special significance as it was the very first card to feature an image of a real-life person, though it would not be the last. Additionally, the bottom artwork credit, which usually gives credit to an illustrator, instead gives credit to the photographer of the artwork, and that's another anomaly in the Pokemon world. Next up is another Imakuni card. I'm now realizing that this might be a heavy Imakuni list, but I have no regrets. I love Imakuni cards. This card is near and dear to my heart, as it was one of the first obscure and strange Pokemon cards I ever collected as a young man. It features a white star for its rarity symbol, which piqued my interest back in the day. As we all know, most of the rarity symbols were black stars, diamonds, and circles, and so on. This wasn't featured on many other cards. However, one card that does come to mind is the Japanese version of Here Comes Team Rocket. There's not a whole lot of crazy details to know about this card. It just features a really unhinged-looking Imakuni chasing after a Doduo with a net, and I think the artwork is really enjoyable and hilarious. I love looking at it. This card also saw an English language version in XY Evolutions as a secret rare. Following this is our last Imakuni-themed card on the list, and it's Imakuni's Nasty Plot from the Japanese Vending series. The Japanese Vending series is exactly what it sounds like. Collectors in Japan could purchase sheets of cards from vending machines in which Pokemon cards could be peeled off of. Imakuni's Nasty Plot was another hand-drawn card featuring a really hilarious and smug-looking Imakuni. Most controversial was that this card encouraged players to cheat at the game. The card's text reads as follows: "When you play this card, you may remove damage counters when your opponent isn't looking, and no matter what they ask, pretend you don't know about it." I think that's some of the funniest text probably ever printed on a Pokemon card, although I've got another one later on in the list that I think is a contender. The next card, it's a little bit more modern. Up to this point, all the cards we've discussed in their original printing forms are considered vintage-era cards. This card is called Ishihara GX and features another real-life person, Mr. Ishihara. Mr. Ishihara is well known amongst Japanese fans, and for us English-speaking fans, he may not be so well known, and that's okay. So for the unacquainted, Mr. Ishihara is the president and CEO of the Pokemon Company. He manages everything, from the anime to the games, all the way to the trading card game. This card was created in honor of his 60th birthday, and he was given several copies of it to hand out at his own discretion. He handed them out to a lot of Nintendo employees, or Pokemon Company employees, and during my research for this video, I discovered that it was forbidden for them to sell the cards, so that results in very few of them actually being in circulation. Number 7 features some of the most off-putting artwork I have ever seen, and it is the Japanese version of Muumuu Milk. This made the list in another video we made about cards whose artwork was altered before being printed in English. This card displays a Sentret sucking milk from a cow thing that has no head and limbs. The card saw a complete revision in its artwork when it was released in English, and I'm honestly glad they did. The replacement artwork features jars of milk, and it just makes a whole lot more sense. The original Japanese artwork was just really bizarre. Coming up at number 8 is Sachiko GX, a fairy-type Pokemon card that also features a real-life person. It was handed out to attendees of the 20th Anniversary Countdown event in October of 2016. This event celebrated the trading card game's 20th anniversary and took place in Tokyo. The event was really exclusive, and it only offered 100 attendees a spot. It only offered 100 tickets for attendees. I'm sorry, I worded that really strange. The desirability for attendance was so high that interested parties had to enter a lottery system in order to win the chance to attend. This is one of very few Pokemon-type cards that doesn't actually feature a Pokemon. It features Sachiko Kobayashi, a Japanese singer and former member of Suzuki-san, the Pokemon rap group that I had mentioned earlier. So, our list is starting to wind down, and I would be remiss if I did not mention Pokey Dude. Pokey Dude is a trainer card from that unnumbered promo card set that I keep mentioning. What's really interesting is that nobody really knows how it was distributed, though speculation suggests it was a lottery prize given to members of the Pokemon Daisuki Club back in 2004. The fan club is known for its exclusive and rare releases, and this card is believed to be amongst the most rare of them. Pokey Dude is from the Fire Red and Leaf Green era of the games, and he hosted a in-game TV show targeted at Pokemon trainers. The last card on this list, and also my favorite, is Uyama's Pikachu. This is definitely one of my personal favorite cards of all time, and it also comes from the Japanese vending series of cards we talked about earlier in this video. It's another hand-drawn card that features hilarious attacks, like one called Greetings, which says, "To be polite but attack when your opponent is in an unguarded moment," and Fake Sleep, which encourages players to pretend to be asleep but attack when your opponent is in an unguarded moment. And then in parentheses it says "Sneaky of you," which really is the cherry on top of an already hilarious attack. I love these attacks, and I love this hilarious looking artwork. I think this card is Just one of the coolest looking Pikachu cards out there. I really love the crude hand-drawn cards we see in the vending series. They're some of my favorites to collect. And honestly, as I'm making this video, I'm really realizing how badly I need a high grade, maybe a PSA 9 or 10 Uyama's Pikachu in my collection. So, I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. These are some of my favorite Pokemon cards out there, and sharing them with you has been a lot of fun. If you liked this video and the things I have to say, please let me know by commenting, liking this video, or especially subscribing to the channel. All of those things help with the YouTube algorithm, or at least that's what I hear. But I'd really appreciate it the most if you shared this video with somebody else that you think would like it. I've been Cool Trainer Rob. These cards have all been real weird, and you've all been wonderful. I'll see you next time.